Well, good evening, everybody. Looking good. I love it when I see that. Is that right? Cool, man. Clark's another Tell You Ride cat right over there. He didn't forget it, but we've known each other for so long, it'd probably be weird, you know. He wears it every once in a while. Hi, how y'all doing? It sure is nice to be back at the Duck. People are like, why did you leave Canada right now? Is what they're all saying to me, because I was just on Vancouver Island, you know. And so I can show people I can handle the heat just fine, you know. 20 years of living in Texas, I can handle it. But now I live up there. We got, I think we got Graham and Gwen, and we got Alan on sound, and we got some others here y'all are going to take care of behind the bar. You tip well. Remember, if the guy you're with doesn't tip, he's not worth going home with. Trust me on that. I mean it. I haven't played a solo show since the first week of July. I went and did a radio show in Wimberley this morning. So I kind of want this show to be a little weird. I think it'd be fun. If you got some weird requests and some stuff that you know of mine, just as long as it's in between songs, feel free to yell it out. Not during, but between, I'd like it. I'll start out with a semi-new one. Some honest work, a little bit of dignity, a boss who ain't a jerk, someone to come home to, someone to take out, simple kind of pleasures, that's what I'm all about. Independent contractor, 18 wheels, got a little taste of how freedom feels. They grow everything that's green in California, yeah. Sometimes you gotta hustle to earn your pay, and I got a flat tire and a heavy load. Supposed to haul it in 3 hours ago. Want someone help the poor boy on the side of the road? He got a flat tire, a little further to go. And I'm leaving Santa Rosa with a truck full of plums and some mystery boxes. I don't know where they come from, I don't ask questions, so I cannot lie about the drop-off, the payload, the reasons why. I figure everybody needs a little relaxation if it comes in the ground. Who am I to say so? Driving to driving, I'm making good time. I see 50 pounds of rubber banging off of my side, and I got a flat tire and a heavy load. Supposed to haul it in 5 hours ago. Want someone help the poor boy on the side of the road? I got a flat tire, a little further to go. So I threw on the jag 30 miles south of Old Salt Lake. See, I was sweating my cargo, I was plotting my escape, when a trooper pulls up with a grin on his face. Where you from, son? What's in the trailer? Agriculture, sir, from a Golden State wholesaler. Open up the back while we're waiting on the tow. I get a little bit hungry driving up and down this road. 20 minutes later, he throws me back my keys and he says, I hope you don't mind. I grabbed a handful of these and then he tips his hat and says, have a nice day. It's just another afternoon in the USA. Flat tire and a heavy load. Supposed to haul it in several hours ago. The trooper helped a poor boy on the side of the road. I got a flat tire, a little further to go. Oh, a little further to go. Yeah, he went ahead and helped him out. Thanks very much. That's a good start right there. I'm kind of a big fan of the old Chuck Berry songs, you know. I wrote that song with my friend Scrappy Judd Newcomb, and we both like those songs that, you know, old Chuck Berry songs, there was like always a story. And there was always like a beginning and a middle and an end to every story. Sometimes we also kind of like those old, or not so old, Quentin Tarantino movies, where, like, you know, at the end of the story, they kind of rewrite history the way it should have happened. And so that's kind of where that story came from, because you hope that it would happen that way. That he'd help him out, right? So I'm up on Vancouver Island, and I got a new album coming out in September. I'll be on the road for a few months. I won't be back to Texas after this run until early November. And when I get back in early November, I'm going to do a bunch of CD releases and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. My first single came out, I don't know, a little bit about maybe a week ago. And it's really cool. It's already, you know, doing pretty well, I'd say. But they do this thing now with, like, your label where they stagger the singles. Like, you put one out, and then, like, 4 weeks later, you put another one out. And it's basically having to do with Spotify and things like that. So on the 16th of this month, this song will come out, which is the title track to the new album. And I live up on Vancouver Island, and I've been landlocked my whole life. I've never, you know, I lived in, like, Ohio and Michigan growing up, and then I lived in Texas for 20 years, in Austin in the Hill Country. And then, hey, Alan, did you just crank on a light or something? Will you crank that down just a little hair, just please? Thanks. Whatever it was. I probably look better on camera, but I'm also going to squint the whole night. It'd be kind of weird. All right. Well, if it wasn't you, then we'll tell Rusty. Because they do make it look really, really cool online, and they have, like, that's one of the cool things about these shows. Anyway, back to the story. Now I live on the water, and I can't help, it's just kind of gotten into my writing. It kind of creeps into the things I write about. And this is one of those songs. And it ended up becoming the title track to the album that's going to come out. But you can go pre-save the album on Spotify and listen to all my other stuff, and then it'll just end up, when it comes out, it'll just dump right into your platform of choice. That's how they do it now. Start that again. Tugboat, fisher boat, sailboat, yacht, freighter, dory, skiff or barge, where are you going? Where have you been? Can I hitch a ride and see my story begin? I really wanna go out on the ocean. I really wanna find a little island. I really wanna spare my days alone, 'cause I'm oh so tired. Sunlight shine on the snow-white sails. Cool breeze of warm winds never fail. When all is said and done, I still should have a little fun. But who will you leave behind? behind you when you run. I really wanna go out on the ocean. I really wanna find a little island. I really wanna fare my days alone, 'cause I've grown so tired. I really wanna dream the dreams of angels, find something better in the in-between. I really wanna be okay being alone at sea. So hard, there's no time to play. Then we drift so hard, I don't make time to say I love you, at least not the way I should. But when will we find out all is already good? I really wanna go out on the ocean. I really wanna find a little island. I really wanna fare my days alone, 'cause I'm oh so tired. I really wanna dream the dreams of angels, find something better at the in-between. I really wanna be okay being alone at sea. Tugboat, fisher boat, sailboat, yacht. Yeah. We liked that song so much, we ended up cutting a version in Spanish and another version in French. That'll come out after the album comes out. So I've been every once in a while throwing them in it, and it's awkward, but it's pretty cool. I figured after 20 years in Texas, and now that I live in Canada, which has quite a large French-speaking population, well past the time I started singing in other languages again, because when I was a little kid, I used to sing in other languages all the time. I was a boy soprano, and so by the time I was 12, I had already sung in French and Italian and German, and didn't know what any of it meant. But I was good at it. I could do it. So I worked really, really hard on these translations with Alex Ruiz from Del Castillo. He helped me out a lot with the Spanish version, and Nico Leofant helped me out a lot with the French. We sent him around to a bunch of friends. I got the A-OK from my pals. But I'm gonna wait on that. Do this song kind of got me started on my solo career. How many people have been to one of my shows before? I'm gonna do this a bunch. A few of you? Oh, okay, cool. So it means I can tell some other jokes and I might sell some merch. It's gonna work out. We'll see. For those of you who are uninitiated, I have the softest t-shirts you'll ever touch. Trust me, you'll come up and you'll be like, it's true. He meant it. I had a guy come up to me because, I spent a little extra money on the fancy t-shirts, This guy comes up to me at the Saxon Pub in Austin, and he's like, at the lip of the stage, and he's like, "Hey, man, you weren't kidding about that T-shirt, man. My wife loves this T-shirt." You know, a little King of the Hill in him. And my wife loves her T-shirt, man. She sleeps in that T-shirt every night. She has the best sleep she's ever had. I said, "Oh, that's really nice, man." He goes, "Yeah, you're in bed with us every night." I said, "Man, why'd you have to make it weird? Everything was cool up until that point." True story. So about 2016, I started off at the ripe age of 43 becoming a solo artist. And I'm 50 now, and it's going pretty darn well. And I like it, and that's all I do, you know. Hey, Vern, how you doing, man? And I had this song that got on, you know, some Americana radio around the country and some stations, you know. KPFT was real good about it. KPFT, everybody, here in Houston? Yeah, that's right. Support your public radio. You better. Fort Collins and K-Pig out in California and some stuff on the East Coast. And I had to start saying no because I was a sideman playing with a bunch of other people in Texas. It's very humbling. But this is sort of the song that got me started. You never know what song is going to, you know, really click with people. Put out an album, you might know what the single's supposed to be and all those kind of things, but this is the one that really kind of got people into what I was doing. And I'm a lot better now, so. But both as a solo artist and spiritually. Anyway, this is a song. Louisiana is my home. I drink my whiskey all alone. Temptation got me on the run, but mama's son don't hurt no one. Don't want no trouble. But trouble find me. Trouble find me when nothing going right and no hope is left inside. I should be praying to the Lord. Don't want to bother him tonight. Oh, and I don't want no trouble. Don't want no trouble. Yeah, but trouble find me. Trouble find me. Well, I wish, oh, I could move on. Redemption too far gone. Oh, now I'm left. I'm left be where I've been or will be. 'Cause when I'm down, and I'm always down, you see trouble find me. I can't take it no more. All this knock, knock, knocking on my door. And nothing's on the other side. But still I'm always open wide. And I don't want no trouble. Yeah, but trouble find me. Trouble find me. Come on, trouble find me. Yeah, trouble find me. Oh, thanks. That comes from another period in my life. I kind of joke with my friends about how I got out of wanting to be a singer-songwriter. Thanks very much for that. That's mine. Because, you know, people pay $30, you know, they come see you and you just get up on stage and whine about your problem. I was feeling pretty good. I didn't really want to do that anymore, you know. First I tried co-writing, and then I was just whining about somebody else's problems. That didn't work. And at first, you know, after that, it was like, man, problem is when you're happy, you don't usually want to sit down and write a song about it. It's usually the other times that you're inspired to write a song. But I started to get into more positive kind of things. It's been good for me. For instance, how many guitar players do we have? This is another thing I'll be taking a quiz. No guitar players? None? A couple? Okay, cool. I had to change strings right before the show. Oh, man, yeah. One of the, Gwen was asking me, she's like, oh, is that a problem? And I said, no, I got to go in the back and beat the soup out of them before you get up on stage. So they don't go out of tune, you know. I like old strings. Like, I keep them on until they start to unwind, you know, but they were just, like, right there. And I hadn't picked up this guitar since I was here in early July. And it was just like, please, please take care of me. So I got some new strings on here. We'll beat the soup out of it, like I like to say. I think I got that from somebody. So this buddy of mine was saying, his name's Gabriel Rhodes. He's a producer and a guitar player and a songwriter, really great. And he would go sit in this band when I was out of town called The Resentments. And when he would sit in with The Resentments, he said, man, I love sitting in for you, but all I have is these kind of slow, morose, sad, kind of like what I just played, you know. And he's like, I see you get up there, man, and you got all these tunes that like get people dancing and stuff, even though you're playing an acoustic guitar. And it is cool. I love just, you know, playing solo and acoustic and see people get up and dance. It makes me feel pretty. I like that. And I said, well, then let's just write one. And he said, right now? And I said, yeah. And so we wrote this, and I liked it so much I put it on my new album, even though I wrote it for him to play. And they chose it as the first single. So if you go to like the YouTubes, there's a video, and you can download it right now when you pre-save the album. So I promise that's the last advertising I'll do. No, I'm not. There'll be a lot more. It's like well, if you've been feeding your bad habits and you never can let them go, and you're stuck there chasing little pink rabbits down their little rabbit holes, and you hear them wolves huffing and a-puffing, sniffing out their prey, and you're sure enough tired of all this running and you really gotta get away. Oh my, do a little dancing. I didn't mention this was a sing-along. Oh my, do a little dancing. That's all you gotta do. If you're searching for the man with the tattooed hand to get your head on right, don't burn the top down on no cellophane, hoping you get real tight. Then said, don't be looking down your nose. I'm doing what I gotta do. I can tell you to leave your worries with Kochek Jenny. It's surely time to bust your move. Try it again, like, little dancing, not bad. Oh my, yeah, do a little dancing, yeah. Jumping, you know we're letting go and we're feeling free. Don't be one of them wallflowers, Jenny. Come on in and dance with me, 'cause there ain't no problem that we ever seen it can't be fixed by a slide with Jolene. 2 a.m. done come too soon. We don't ever wanna leave. It's your last chance. Oh my, do a little dancing. Y'all sound good now. Oh my, do a little dancing. Sometimes that's all you gotta do. Oh my, do a little dancing. All you gotta do is, oh my, do a little dancing. That's the best it's ever been done. And I'm not just saying that because I've got CDs and T-shirts for sale. It's the best it's ever been done. And I've got some Vern's over here laughing because that's an old Ray Wiley joke from when I was playing with Ray Wiley Hubbard. That'll be my first name drop of the evening, and there will be many. I don't have any shame about that. Because, whenever anybody, name drops, they're just trying to make themselves appear one rung higher on the entertainment ladder, leaned against the wall of illusion and broken dreams. In fact, I was talking about that with Hayes Carl the other day, and he agrees with me. It's a disgusting habit. No, but we were joking because I tell Ray's stories every once in a while, just the jokes every once in a while. And his son Lucas, who plays guitar with him now, Lucas was 6 when I moved to Texas and lived with Ray and Judy for a few months before I got started doing my thing. Lucas is now 30 and married and plays guitar with Ray. And we were sitting backstage before a show a couple years ago, and I said, "Hey Ray, I told such and such a story last night." He goes, "Oh, how'd it go?" I was like, "Oh, it went great, like always." And Lucas and the drummer Kyle were like, they looked at me and they were like, "You tell Ray stories? You tell his jokes?" And I said, "Yeah." I was like, "Ray got most of his jokes from the Smothers Brothers." And Ray looks over at me and he leans in my ear and he goes, "Only 2. And I know which ones. But, yeah. I mean, a good story, especially in Texas. Can't waste it. I miss this guitar when I'm gone. This guitar is kind of special. I was talking to my friends Susan and Doug earlier, so I'm going to play this song. I'm trying to go off the set list, but you guys have kind of got me doing the standard songs so far, so the things I'm supposed to play for this new album and to get y'all excited about it, and I really wanted tonight to be a little bit different. So I'm going to do something different. What was that? Keep it weird. Okay, cool. So this song is about this guitar, believe it or not. And you may not think it's the most interesting thing to write about a guitar, but when I moved to Texas, I was playing mostly lap slide guitar, with the people that I played with. And I didn't have a good box to write on like this, like a good workhorse guitar. And I came home to the little shack that I was renting after I moved out of Ray and Judy's place. There was this little shack in Wimberley that I was living behind somebody else's house. And I came home one day, and there was this big giant box on my doorstep. I was like, well, that's weird. And then I brought it inside, and there was a guitar case in it. And I opened it up, and there was this guitar. And I looked, and there was a little card on the inside, and it said, "Happy birthday, signed your guardian angel." And I had just started playing out doing my own songs. I got my first gig in Texas in the front room at Green Hall because they saw me in an open mic and said, "Would you come and play songs for us?" And I was like, "What's Green Hall?" That's how fresh I was off the boat. And so this guitar shows up at my house, but there's a sticker on it that says it's from Straight Music in Austin. So I get in my little Econo box and I drive up to Austin because I want to find out, where did this guitar come from? And this guitar is very me, It's like there's no frills. It's just exactly what you need and nothing more. And it's one of the reasons I love it so much. It's really a workhorse. And I get up there and I go into Straight Music and I see the guy behind the bar. I said, "Somebody bought me a guitar." He goes, "Oh, you're the guy." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm the guy who bought me the guitar." He goes, "We can't tell you." And I said, "Why not?" And they said, "Because if you knew who it was, you'd say it was too much and you wouldn't accept it," is what they told me. And I was like, man, in that little moment, for the rest of my life, to understand how you're supposed to give a gift to somebody and not expect anything in return, I'll keep that with me forever, And I've written a lot of songs on this. And a while back, long story short, too late, I ended up writing a song where I had to write a song specifically about a guitar for this thing called the Acoustic Guitar Project. And there's lots of songs about guitars, but this is about this particular one. This sounds better with picks. It's that little touch of unprofessionalism I know you guys love about me. It makes me human, right? You know. No, I still don't know. I mean, I've had some ideas, and I thought for the longest time, well, anyway, it's been 23 years since I got it, and I really don't know. This guitar has been around, it's traveled hard, gone town to town. It's seen some hard times, oh, it's seen some light. It's told the truth, fought the good fight. This guitar don't belong to me. It's for all to hear and see. I'd never claim to wanna be the star, when I owe it all to this guitar. 'Cause when the melody moves you, you wanna sing along. This guitar will bring you in to where nothing's wrong, to make the night shine brighter, or tear the clouds from the moon. This guitar will be your guideline and get you home soon. Combined with a poet's steady hand, this guitar's always apt to make a mighty stand, to shake the whole foundation, to quietly testify. This guitar will sweetly sing to you a needed lullaby. This guitar is all I have. It speaks for me, it tells it loud, and I have some friends near and far. They all know me and this guitar. Thank you. Now, it's getting harder and harder. You know, I really like going out with like two guitars on the road because I like playing slide, but I don't want to play slide for the whole show. It'll get a little bit old. But I dig both. You know, I really like writing songs this way, and I like writing songs that way. It's kind of different. So I found out, I was telling this story on the radio this morning. I found out before I did this tour of the Midwest last year that it was going to cost me an extra $500 to take one more guitar on the road with me, to fly with one more guitar. And I was like, man, really? Like an extra $500 for one more guitar? I have two friends that for 20 years plus have been on the road. They put their guitars in golf bags. And I'm not kidding. They put their guitars in golf bags because they're like, yeah, they don't mess with golfers, but they don't care about musicians. And it's true. It's pretty smart. They've never had a guitar stolen or busted, either one of them. So I was like, man, that's too much for me. I'm not going to make any money on this tour if I go take this extra guitar. And in Canada, where I live now, like, we'll get back to snowbirding or sunbirding, whichever way you look at it. It's just, in the time that we were gone during the lockdowns, rent kind of went through the roof. So we can't right now, but I'll be back to living part-time in Texas and part-time in Vancouver Island when it becomes reasonable. If you got an extra golf bag, if you got an extra one, I've thought about it a lot on the road. But listen to this. Okay, so in Canada, you can rent a guitar from this place called Long and McQuaid, and you'll rent a guitar in, like, Montreal, and then you can take it and go play a festival or a tour and return it in, like, Calgary. It's really smart, and they insure it, and it doesn't cost a lot of money, and they make tons of money. So I was like, man, maybe they have something like that in the States. So I was flying into Columbus, where my family lives. Most of my family lives in Columbus, Ohio, most of them, and the ones that aren't in trouble with the law. But... But I call up a Guitar Center, and a Guitar Center is basically the Home Depot for musicians, It's like, it's not where you go to get that guitar you're going to fall in love with. You go and get your staples, right? And so I call up the Guitar Center in Columbus, and I was like, hey, do you guys rent guitars? And the guy's like, huh? And I was like, do you rent guitars? And I hear him, like, put the phone down and go, do we rent guitars? And he comes back, and another guy gets on the phone, and he's like, well, we've got such and such guitar. I said, no, that doesn't sound, I was like, it's okay, don't worry about it. I'll figure out something else. And so I can just bring my slide guitar and something else. Maybe I'll borrow one from somebody. He goes, there's a big pause for a minute, and he says, we have this Epiphone Texan, which is a good guitar, and it's only $715. And there was a big, long pause for a minute, and I said, no, right then I said, man, I wasn't thinking of buying a guitar. I was just going to try and rent something for this 13 gigs that I had in like 17 days. And he paused again, and he goes, we've got a 45-day return policy. And then I paused because all of a sudden I'm figuring out what the guy is saying to me. And I paused, and I go, well, does that policy also go for cases? And he said, yeah. And I said, I'll take it. And so I bought the guitar, and I came to Columbus, and I bought the guitar. I took it on tour. I gingerly take care of this guitar while I'm on the road for these gigs. I'm putting it in the back seat. I'm trying to not even scratch up the case. Is this going to work? Am I really going to bring this guitar back to them after I've played it for a whole bunch of gigs? So I get done with the tour, and I go back, and I'm wondering, and I'm nervous, and I walk into the Guitar Center, and same guy's behind the counter, and as I sheepishly walk towards him, he looks at me, and he goes, not the guitar for you? And I said, no. And he's like, oh, just give me your card, and he gave me the money back. And so I didn't have to pay for this guitar, when I took it on tour. I felt so greasy and slimy about the whole deal, because somebody's going to buy that guitar someday, And I felt so weird about it that I decided that I would buy like a cheap Epiphone and leave it at my sister's place. So I've got one more. I've got guitars in Texas, and I got guitars in Vancouver Island, so I don't have to fly as much with guitars. And it's really getting to the point now where I can just buy guitars rather than fly with them because it costs so much, It's kind of ridiculous. That reminds me, I was playing in Rochester, New York on that tour, or on the tour after it in the same place, and I did this song. And I like to preach the gospel of James McMurtry every once in a while. He wrote a song about just this many, many years ago. I want to say about 20 years ago with his old bass player named Ronnie Johnson. And I never play this song, so this will be fun. I'm going to play it for you right now. I told you I was going to try and be weird. Mr. Airline Agent, won't you understand? I'm a frequent traveler and a patient man. been mistreated just a time or two. I stood about all I'm gonna stand from you. I got my ticket in my hand just like everybody else. I paid my money in advance so I could use a little help. You're making such a fuss, you're holding up the line. Just get me on the plane, everything will be fine. I gotta go, I gotta get me to the show. Quit looking at the hair, yeah, just get me in the air. I got a 52 telly hanging off of my back. It fits real easy in the overhead rack. If I was a guy in a suit with a kitchen sink, you'd have let me right on, you wouldn't even have blinked. But a guitar, you say, I gotta check it at the gate. That isn't gonna happen, get your hands off the case. Hands off the case, unless you wanna lose it all. Get out of my face, you won't come to any harm. I gotta go, I gotta make it to my show. Quit giving me the stare, yeah, just get me in the air. Is the airline agent, is there something I missed? I never seen anything quite like this. I'm a frequent traveler, I've been around, I've been roughed up and I've been shut down. I guess your supervisor knows about your nasty attitude, giving me a hassle just for something to do, to make you feel like a man. Well, I had about enough and I'm gonna go postal if you don't straighten up. I gotta go, I gotta make it to my show. Quit staring at the hair, yeah, just get me in the air. Yeah, that song, back when I had hair like Alan, meant a little bit more to me. But can we have a round of applause for Alan, who's doing the sound tonight, everybody? Your sound person is your unsung hero of every show, and they never get any credit, because you know what happens is, like, there's going to be a band in here tonight after me. Is a band, right? Or is it? No, it's solo? Oh, okay, cool. But it's always different, like, you know, one night he'll have like 2 ukuleles and a bass, and the next night it'll be like a Dead cover band with 2 drums, and they always accept it with grace and make us sound good, and we wouldn't sound like anything without them. And I don't know if you guys know this, but it's not out of the realm of possibilities. You can actually tip a sound person when it sounds really good. You can be like, man, it sounded really good in that room tonight. So keep it in mind. It's a nice thing to do, because it's always like, you know, one guitar player like me who comes up on stage and stuff's not working and looks at the sound guy and goes, I don't know, man, it worked last night. You know, he knows what I'm talking about, too. Told him that before the show, and he was like, I've heard that so many times. So thank you, Alan. It makes the show so much more fun. And thanks to everybody who's watching online. We're streaming here. If you guys don't know, Mucky Duck is one of the best places for the live stream. They live stream a lot of these shows online, like almost all of them, right? And it's called Live from Norfolk Street. So when you're out of town and you want to see a show at the Mucky Duck, you just got to get online to see it. And it sounds really, really good. Not everybody who does live streams, this isn't like a little camera on the side on an iPod for Facebook. This is really, really, really good sound, and it looks great, too. Present company excluded. But it's really cool, so that's another way that you can help support the duck, too. McGonigel's Mucky Duck here. How's the booze and the food? Everything good? Right? Anybody get a Mark Portugal? Yeah, that sandwich. Sometimes I wonder if I should have that before I play. You know what I mean? It's a little on the heavier side. It's a lot of cheese. But, oh, it's a good sandwich. They got a really good Greek salad, too. I mean, the older you get, the more food is part of the deal. You're like, do they have good food? I also, before the show, here's something that's kind of off the set list that's not sitting here. Before the show, I was sound checking with a cover song another cover song. I did a couple of EPs before and during the lockdowns. I called them Covered and Uncovered, Volume 1 and 2. And one song, 2 songs were cover songs and 2 songs were originals. Hence the Covered and Uncovered. I know, it's genius. But, one cover I would do would be like somebody that's like a contemporary of mine or somebody that I really look up to. And then the other cover would be somebody famous that I was trying really, really hard to make my own version of a song. And on the last one, there's this song by the Beatles, of all people. Like, I never thought I would cover a Beatles song. It's like, what are you going to do? You're not going to do it better, So, like, your only hope. I had to do some Beatles for this charity event, and I was like, what am I going to do? I'm just going to get up there and demolish one of these beautiful songs, that I loved growing up. Beatles were just a little bit past me. I was born right after they broke up, But my big brother always had Beatles records, and that's how I got into them at such a young age. Love them. But I found this old song that's kind of like, it's kind of masking a happy, or like a really dark song with like all that happy Beatle-y kind of stuff, And I was talking with Gwen before the show, who's working here, and she nailed exactly, like word for word, how I would describe the song. She's like, the Beatles, they'll have like really, really dark lyrics, but they'll hide it behind this kind of happy kind of stuff, And like on the record that I got it from, it's like, it's like, wait till I come back to your side. And it's all this thing, It's like, man, those lyrics are just dire. They're sad. So I came up with my own version of it and put it on this little EP in between records. It goes like this. So I'll do that one for Gwen, even though she's back in the... She just went back. There you are. Okay, cool. We'll forget the tears we've cried. But if your heart breaks, don't wait, turn me away. And if your heart's strong, hold on, I won't delay. Wait till I come back to your side. We'll forget the tears we've cried. I feel as though you ought to know that I've been good as I can be. And if you do, I'll trust in you and know that you will wait for me. It's been a long time now, coming back home. I've been away now. Oh, how I've been alone, yeah. Wait till I come back to your side. We'll forget the tears we've cried. I feel as though you ought to know that I've been good as I can be. And if you do, I trust in you. Know that you will wait for me. But if your heart breaks, don't wait, turn me away. And if your heart's strong, hold on, I won't delay. Wait till I come back to your side. We'll forget the tears we've cried. It's been a long time. Now I'm coming back home. I've been away now. Oh, I've been alone. Thanks. I mean, because you know, like, I've been good as I can be. Come on, man. Something's going on there. Right? That's not even a wink. It's pretty obvious. That's why they were so good. My buddy Clark's in here from Austin. He's kind of lives between Austin and Telluride. So wait, you guys, how many from Telluride here? Just you guys. Where at? Where was it, at the house party? Oh, it's Music on the Green. I love that gig. That's such a fun gig. I'm so glad you guys came, man. Yeah, it was chilly, but it was. It's worth it being up there. Yeah, that was really fun. I like it up there. They've kind of adopted my music and given me places to play, kind of like Texas did, you know, like before other places kind of found out. So I got a lot of love for that area, you know, selfishly. It's like, what do you do for me, Jeff? You know, I don't do anything for those people. Is there anything anybody wants to hear, or do you not know my songs? And it's always like, hey, what do you want to hear? Crickets. The single that just came out, I played it. That's okay. You didn't know. And I also played the single that's the Oh My Do a Little Dancing. That's the one that has a video. But I'll play it again. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm kidding. Oh, sure. All right. 3 covers in a row. I like it. No, that's fine, because here's the thing. I have a single that's like only on digital. It's only on Spotify and stuff. And it's by the great blues artist Taylor Swift. But what happened was, man, I heard this song, and like, you know, it's funny because a lot of people who go to my shows, they don't know it's a Taylor Swift song because they're not into popular music and stuff. And I'm always like, you don't know that song? Like, I'm not a pop guy either, but it's pretty big. It's a pretty. Oh, you didn't? That's really cool. But you know, a lot of times I'll play it and people won't know, and so. I had been listening to this really old Jimi Hendrix song called My Friend, which is a very Dylan-esque kind of bluesy barroom clinking bottles kind of song. And then I had listened to Lover by Taylor Swift, and I was like, this might make a cool mashup, but not really do a mashup, just do the production, you know, like the instrumentation. So I played all the instruments and piano and slide and harmonica and sent it to a good producer, and he had a drummer play on it, and we put it out. And it's great. I love especially playing it for like the big barroom shows and get everybody sing along. And I'm like, relive your wasted youth, you know. But it's really fun to play. So here, I'll play it for you. Thanks for asking for it. We could leave the Christmas lights up until January. This is our place, we make the rules. And there's a dazzling haze and a mysterious way about you, dear. Have I known you 20 seconds or 20 years? Can I go where you go? Can we always be this close forever and ever? And I'll take me out and take me home. Oh my, 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 my lover. We can let our friends crash in the living room. This is our place, we make the call. And I'm highly suspicious that everyone who sees you wants you. I've loved you 3 summers now, honey. I want them all. Can I go where you go? Can we always be this close forever and ever? And I'll take me out and take me home. You're my, 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 my lover. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please stand? With every guitar string scar on my head, I take this magnetic force of a human to be my lover. My heart's been borrowed and yours has been blue. All's well that ends well to end up with you. Swear to be over dramatic and true to my lover. And you'll say all your dirtiest jokes for me. And every table I'll save you a seat. Can I go where you go? Can we always be this close forever and ever? And I'll take me out and take me home. You're my, 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 my. Oh, you're my, 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 my. Darling, you're my, 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 my lover. I always get that picture in my head of that Will Ferrell and Rachel Dratch sketch on SNL where they're like, lover. They're in the hot tub and this guy's all hairy and they're like eating chicken. It's pretty gross, but really funny. Go look it up. They keep calling each other lover. I'm laughing in my head while ever I'm singing that now. All right, well. Oh, wow. Also didn't write it. That's written by a guy named Willis Allen Ramsey. It's okay, we'll have a night where people just don't like my songs. That's all. That's just fine. No, there's no better compliment than when somebody thinks that something like that is your song. That means you did an okay job of it. You know what I mean? So I certainly don't take any offense to it. Good save. Nice. I did write Love is Love. I'll do that next then. And then I'll do something off the new album. I'll keep everybody happy. Whatever. We're going to be here all night. No, just kidding. Mockingbird Blues is a song that I really love. I played with this guy named Willis Allen Ramsey. And if you don't know him, he made one album in 1973, and he's lived off it ever since. And it had like a couple, like every song on it's been covered by big artists. Like the most famous one is Muskrat Candlelight, which is actually when Captain and Tennille did it, they called it Muskrat Love. That's the most famous one, but there's so many other stuff. Lyle Lovett's covered him, Rusty Weir, everybody's covered Willis. And when I played with him, you know, I was sort of his multi-bag guy. Like I would go out with a pedal steel, a dobro, a lap steel guitar, a Telecaster. What else did I have? I played mandolin on one song. On a different song, I played harmonica. And it's two guys, you know, with all these instruments, and he would just play guitar, and I would play all the stuff off of his albums. But Mockingbird Blues was not on his famous album that came out in 1973. I just knew it, and like he had heard the first song off of my album somewhere, and I came into the studio one day, and we were recording the album that will never come out, and because he's recorded it like 5 times and never put it out, the second album. And we were recording, and he was playing my song, and he's like, "Oh, I really like this song called Home Again." He's like, "Man, that's great. If you ever want to cover any of my songs, you have my permission." And I was like, truth is, I don't need it. All you have to do is pay the royalties, and you can cover whatever you want once it's out. But I was like, wow, that's really cool, man. And I said, even ones that aren't on the old album? And he's like, yeah, it's fine. So the co-producer of the 2016 album, we were sitting around, and I was just playing the riff. Because Willis has like a real 3-finger Texas-style guitar where you do a thumb and 2-finger picks. Like Lucinda Williams, Mance Lipscomb, they all play this way. You know, it's great because you can finger pick, but you can also strum. So it's pretty cool. And I learned how to do it in Tennessee from like bluegrass players. It's a lot easier than going do-ga-do-ga-do-ga-do-ga. You just go. Oh, it started. One moment, please. All right, now we're going to hope that doesn't happen again. Ta-da! So anyway, I was just sitting there playing this thing, and I love that song so much. It's a beautiful song. My buddy said, "What's that?" And I ended up putting it on the album, and he still hasn't put out that second album, but I have it on an album called Soul Slot. We call these guitar chords tendinitis builders. Whoops. Shake off your lonesome, take off your shoes. Daddy's gonna sing you the Mockingbird Blues. Just climb up here in this chair and sit down on my knee, and I'll sing you the story with the sad melody. When the sun's on the tin roof and the clouds bring no rain, down in a cornfield you could hear him complain. It's 29 a calling man, like it sure is a sin. The way that bird just carries on about his fair weather friend. Some days the clouds lose their lightning. Some days the long shadows fall. But deep back in the pine, back by the property line, you could hear that mockingbird Come, come on. Now the blue jay will tell you, Lord, it surely will, that the song of the mockingbird, not like a sweet whippoorwill. Now his gossip will rise up like the chaff like care, wash over the levee and cover the land. Some days the clouds lose their lightning, some days the long shadows fall. Deep back in the pine, back by the property line, you could hear that mockingbird call, call. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Always got like 3 endings too, but that was the last of them. Yeah, so he made that album in 1973. Every time we went out to a radio station, they'd say, the program director, like the manager, would say, "Don't ask the question." And so for months I was like, "What's the question?" You know, I had no idea. And we got to KNBT in New Braunfels, and Madsen comes up to me. He's the program director there, and he goes, "Hey man, I'm gonna ask the question." Because he was getting to know Willis pretty well, and he thought he could handle it. So I was like, great, I don't know what the question is. And we got on air, and we played a couple of the new songs, and we played some of the old songs from the album. And all of a sudden, he looked at him, he goes, "Hey, Willis, when's the new album coming out?" Willis just didn't miss a beat. He looked at him and goes, "What was wrong with the first one?" And I was like, damn, good comeback. Good comeback. He was a cocky guy, you know, or is, but rightfully so when you write songs like that. He went up, he was at a festival, he was 18 years old, and both Leon Russell and the Allman Brothers were playing, and he went with his guitar to the hotel room of Dwayne Allman and the hotel room of Leon Russell, and went to both of them and said, "My name's Willis Allen Ramsey, and you need to hear me." And he sat down and he played songs for both of them, and that night both of them offered him a record contract. And he took the one with Leon, and he did the Shelter Records one. Yeah, so he's a trip. He's a real, that guy's a trip. But what a songwriter. All right, so this song I wrote, song I actually wrote, is inspired, believe it or not, by a guy named Lin-Manuel Miranda. I know. The first thing you guys think when I come up on stage is, I bet that guy's really into musical theater. Not so much. He gave a speech after the horrible, horrible Pulse nightclub shooting. No matter what your thoughts are on those things. It was a really, really sad time. It always is sad when that stuff happens. But he gave this speech at, I think it was the Tony Awards, and it went viral, and at the end of it, he just said this thing over and over and over again at the end of this poem he had written, and he just said it over and over, and I was like, oh, it's so beautiful. And as they panned around the room, because I wasn't watching, I waited. When it went viral, I saw it on YouTube or something. I could see on everybody's face how much it affected them, and it was really beautiful. It was really beautiful, this speech he gave for acceptance for, I think it was Hamilton or something. And but it was really, really just kind of a unifying moment for just, good people. And I was like, man, I need a song like that because I need to sing for my friends and family in the community of all sorts and shapes and sizes and peoples. And I'm of the opinion that it's not a political thing to say that everybody has the right to love whoever the hell they want to love. Oh, you don't have to, sure. Great, I wasn't fishing. It's just a given in my mind. I don't know, maybe as a musician you grow up kind of seeing how, I feel like as a musician you grow up seeing how diversity is such a good thing, and what the hell, you're not going to change the way somebody... Anyway, so I wanted a song like that. I couldn't find any song that said that. Normally you can find a song that says just about anything. Like if you go home tonight and look up a car that says, or a song that's about, Blueberry Railroad, I guarantee there's a song called Blueberry Railroad, right? Check it out. I bet there is. And I couldn't find one, so I was like, man, I can't believe there's not a song. Now there's like 20 of them, because it wasn't like I had a unique idea. Damn you, Jackson Browne. But it's a really good thing for people to write about, so I don't, get over that. I still sing mine. Thank you for requesting it. It's not a sing-along per se, but I do like it when people sing along. Just when they feel it. It's fine too. Jimmy fell hard for Jenny. Janie fell in love with Jay. You can't choose with whom you fall. I think it's better that way. Could be a chemical thing, maybe cosmic and such. Try as you might to clearly define, well, you won't come back with much. Love is love. Yes, love. Love is love. Is love. Try to change love, give conditions and rules. They try to tell you that they know better well. Tell you your love ain't cool now. Love don't mind your religion, no. Love don't know about race. Love don't care where you may come from. Love doesn't need to explain, no. 'Cause love is love. Yes, love. Love is love. Is love. And a lot of you know what's coming. Speaking of getting weird. Shouldn't encourage me. It sounds nice on the record, though. We are born knowing love. You see, we have to be taught how to hate. To let go of all your preconceived notions where you only need to relate. Come take a seat at the table. Break some bread, make a new friend. In time you'll find forgiveness and kindness is all you ever needed. Love is love, is love, is love. Love is love, is love, is love. Love is love, is love, is love. Love is love, is love. And it is, I promise. Thank you. All right, well, I've got time for one more before I fulfill my contractual obligations for the evening. And it's always really, really nice to come back and play at McGonigel's Mucky Duck. And thanks for everybody who tuned in online. I did have this request from my friend Susan over there. I'm going to close with this song. And there's this thing that I miss now that I'm not in Austin all full time, and it's called the Purgatory Players, believe it or not. And it's these musicians that all get together on Sunday mornings after they've all played on Saturday nights, various musicians, to play whatever they think is gospel music that week. And I mean it, one person plays like a Emmylou Harris song, and then somebody will play like a Prince song. I'll invariably play a Stevie Wonder song because that's my style. And we raise money for the Central Texas Food Bank, which is a really good cause, you know. I don't know if you guys know this. 1 in 4 children in Texas is food insecure. That's insane with the amount of money we have. Not to mention the fact that, and I'm not preaching right now, I'm just going to tell you this because it ain't about politics, it's just something's wrong. You know what I mean? Like, most of the people that they serve at the food bank are gainfully employed. These aren't people who want a handout, you know. These are people that work and still can't make enough money to get food for their kids. And a lot of kids, you know, especially in the summertime, that school meal is like the only meal they know they're going to get for the day. The food bank kicks butt in Texas, in Central Texas. It's like 23 counties. It's really, really great. They give really, really healthy meals. They have a giant garden there, and it's really a beautiful thing. And I'll never forget it, and I tell this story every time on this one, but I love it so much. Some people walked in and they said, "Wow, they sound great. What kind of music do they play?" And a young guy behind the counter goes, "Oh, they play spiritual music for non-denominational folks." And I was like, "Yeah, that's cool, man. That's nice. I like that, you know. Every denomination welcome. We don't care, you know." So I started writing songs that were along those lines where everybody would be welcome, but we could all sing together. So I'll leave you guys with this and be certainly grateful for you coming tonight. Would everybody here, you know, if you had a good time tonight, you can go online and just go ahead and get your tickets for the CD release here in November. That'd be really great. So I'd sure love that. Maybe if we're lucky and you guys liked enough, we'll double the crowd. Or not. I do love it here, so thanks to Rusty and Teresa and everybody here. Let's see. That's the wrong one. That's better. Give you a little Sunday morning on this Thursday night. Well, good morning, good people. I know you got troubles. You think you can outrun your fate. Don't be so sure. Take another look. Maybe it's not too late. Now listen, I was beat down. I was so tired. I was longing for the cleaner slate. How was I to know which way to go? Could be the narrow and the straight. Maybe too late. Maybe too late. Only got one life to contemplate. Maybe it's not too late. Now if you're circling the drain or you're idling the main, those are temporary stays. Just lay one foot down in front of the other, no need to hesitate. If you want to get out of your own way, lend your hand, don't discriminate. Free your mind from the bondage of self, and maybe it's not too late. Maybe too late. Oh, maybe too late. Lay your burden down. It's been such a heavy weight. It's not too late. Forgot to mention there may or may not be an audience participation part in this song. Well, judging by that response, probably not. I'm just kidding. I like the soul claps though, that's good. You picked the right beats too. But you can all sing along on the end of this. I'll show you. It's really, really easy and it'll make you feel really, really good. Well, it's true sometimes that the second chance has left you stalled at the gate. This too shall pass, give it some gas. Maybe it's not too late. Now if you're thinking it's the swing and it's hard to even concentrate, baby, let go, maybe you'll know. Maybe it's not too late. Maybe too late. Oh, maybe too late. Maybe too late, too late, too late. Maybe too late. Here's your part. Maybe too late, maybe too late. Maybe it's not too late. That's the whole thing right there. Maybe too late. That's right. Maybe too late. Maybe it's not too late. Y'all sound good. Maybe too late. Maybe too late. Maybe it's not too late. Keep it going and the women go. Maybe too late. Maybe too late. Maybe it's not too. Keep it going again and the men like low. Maybe too late. Maybe too late. Maybe it's not too late. Keep it going now. Maybe too late. Oh, maybe it's not too late. Maybe too late. Maybe too late. Maybe it's not too late. Thanks very much, everybody. You guys have been really, really beautiful. That was my last song, and so that means here at the Doug, what we do is one more song they save for doing online. Okay, so we're not going to do that weird thing where I walk off stage and you got to come back and all that. Awkward. It's just this will be your encore. And then I'm going to grab this stuff and get off stage because there's another show here tonight. So you got to give me about 5 minutes. I'll pack up my stuff. I'll throw it in the back room. And then I'll be back there with a Sharpie. You can sign my mailing list. you know. I pretty much blog about being on the road and then give you my dates. And then if you want, you can get a plank hat that looks so incredibly good. It's always great with the plank hats because